Sorry, it's
Welcome back, everybody. It's me and ERock once again. Two 40-plus maniac, ADD, physical fitness, going gray fanatics out here. And of course, if ERock's on, it means we're talking Hyrox. Where am I reaching you, ERock?
so we are. You are. This is actually the first interview that we have done together from the office, from the new office here in Denver, Colorado. So
Okay.
yeah, we're pretty much we're in like the epicenter of everything Hyrox right here for the U.S. This is Hyrox is growing. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, I'm hiring people. So if you're cool, maybe hit me up, throw me a resume. But yeah, and if you're Denver related, I get all these people that, oh man, I live in like New York, but I want to like work with you guys. I'm like, nah. But yeah, so we're here in Denver. We got a great office. This is going to be kind of like the U.S. hub, if you will, for everything Hyrox related.
So, what is going on behind you? Is that MTV? Is that X Games?
No.
What am I watching?
It's actually so. If for all y'all who follow me on Instagram, right? It's I'm a big mountain biker. I love to go really fast downhill. So I'm actually watching a replay of the Red Bull Rampage event. Which actually, do you remember Bruno, who used to do? He did like all the Mother Nation lives with us, and like he did a lot
Bruno
of the
Musso, of course.
Yeah, Bruno Musso. Yeah, so Bruno's actually the one that produces all these, and yeah, so I always like to watch because Bruno is he's like a big Red Bull Rampage guy. But yeah, I have a 75-inch TV screen in my office. So yeah, I watch a lot of, Hyrox has got me set up. I'm good.
All right. Let us start with the Dallas new date, the season reset of Hyrox 2021.
All right, so yeah, man, we so and then also, if you guys kind of noticed, I bounced out of the country, had to do a little little European vacation of sorts, if you will, to kind of talk to the German team, right? So Europe, if you haven't noticed, has been still like pretty locked down, and so what we've tried to do now is we're getting back to events over there. Obviously, the big thing was Leipzig, which we should talk about here in a little while as well. But coming away from those meetings, what we did was we looked at our season, right, which, as you guys know out there in the Hyrox community, we've worked our ass off to produce these events. Chicago was amazing, a total end cap to it, which, by the way, we got to give a shout out to the old Chicago tornado of 2021, bro. That was it. But yeah, man, so we came away from Austria saying, like, let's reset. We got a global ranking system. We have a more competitive field than we've ever had in Hyrox. And so let's start with Leipzig and then just run the season out that way. Like our point system or our qualification system really runs, concurrently with the Europeans, because we do. If you guys are out here watching, we can go to Europe. We can go travel. We can go do those Hyrox events over there. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. So that's why I know there's a lot of shit I got on email and Instagram about changing the date, but guys, it's all for the good. It's also our European colleagues can actually like come over and be part of the fam with us.
Okay, cool. So next, let's talk about, we started talking a little bit about the relay, about the Madison breaking out the whole relay. There was still some unclarity about how that would go, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so the relay. So we've got LA to start our 2022, our season 4 season off, right? So we've got LA coming up. Then we go into Madison, October 23rd. If you are in that Midwestern region, or if you're just flying in, definitely sign up for this, because we do have the new relay format, which I'm super fired up about. And I do have to kind of like, after once again coming back from Europe, I have to kind of like step back a little bit and just say that like my post that I put out there was a bit premature, if you will. So I wanted to kind of refine a little bit on the rules side of things, because Matt, I think this is going to be good for you, as I know you're a former sprinter and you like the short distance,
exactly,
as close to your bed as possible. Exactly. Type of so if we can, the Madison relay, if you want to go into that, want to talk about?
That's what I'm talking about. Is that we had announced some of the rules, then I got a lot of questions about them and some unclarity. So 4 runners, correct? Sorry, 4 athletes, 2 men, 2 women.
Yes, that is correct. 2 men, 2 women, always. That's what we're going to be doing, right? The age groups. Okay, so that's the next thing that we wanted to cover as well. That's something that I didn't even like talk about, but it actually got thrown out to me. Because there will be some rankings here. Once again, this will be a new product. So Madison, you guys will be the first people ever to try this thing out. So we're going to be building this thing as we go. So bear with me in terms of the global ranking systems. But essentially, there's going to be 3 divisions that we're going to be going out with, right? 16, the average age of your team, 16 to 35. Okay, will be one category. 35 to 50 will be the second category. That's probably you and I, right? And then the 50 and above will be the separate category. And but still, like just in any other race, right? So everyone's going to be the fastest, 3 times get the prize money, and we're throwing out big prize money.
Which is how much?
Yeah, so I gotta go make sure I get my numbers right here before.
Also, we are live. I am working from home today. There may be an interruption. If there is, I don't know if any of you heard that, but just ERock's a professional. He'll keep it rolling. But is all this out there already, or going to be out there already, where people who didn't watch this follow up with how much money and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so I'm just going through the post here. So like it was, I just wanted to go back here real quick. So this was July 2nd when I put it out, but I'll just refresh everyone's memory here. So first place at the team relay gets $2,000. Second place is $1,500, and third place is $750. And I'll be putting out more graphics, posts, and different things like that. Plus, if you're in our email network, obviously we're going to be, throwing out a lot more information ahead of the Madison event. Which, by the way, like Madison, as you know, like hosts other large fitness events, and is very excited to bring Hyrox in here. They've
the CrossFit Games for Madison, blah blah blah.
That's right, yeah. And actually, I'll be actually out there doing a Hyrox, gym tour of sorts during the games week. So if you're in the Madison area, hit me up. I'll be up at I think CrossFit Madtown will be my kind of home base for that week. So, but anyway, back to the relay.
So yeah, so you have 4 people. You have 4 people. Okay, there are in fact 16 things to do. Right?
Yeah. So this was another area wherein I was a bit premature, right? So I had discussed with my team, and we had a pretty good flow about like how to strategize around this. But once again, in the spirit of what the global community will understand and how the global community intends, and frankly, like what Christian wants at the end of the day, is now it's so you have essentially 8 segments, right? Instead of 16, or classifying as 8 segments, a run and a workout count as a segment. So the team can still break it up however they want. The race format still runs the same way. So skier to row or to sleds and so on and so forth. That the flow still goes. Like the race is still the same, but the athletes will they must complete a run and a workout back to back, right? And that counts as one segment. They could do the first segment and the 8th segment, the second and the 4th, whatever they want to do. But that's kind of how we're going to be breaking it down. You have to do the run, you have to do the workout right after it. So
I like that. I think that does make it, because if it's just about getting a fast sprinter, to me that takes some of the fun out of it. So I like that style.
Yeah. So, and I think you're still, I mean, the whole thing came down to like, I got a lot of crap around the having the specialist, right? You're either your super buff dude who's just going to do the sleds for you or whatever, or the sprinter who's going to go out there and just crush the runs, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So this basically kind of, you're still going to get those teams though. And I think it's going to be really, really fun how these teams get built, because, outside of, just who you have on your phone to call and be part of a team, like that's the only rule, that's the only contingent, right? So I'm expecting some like pretty cool super teams to get built ahead of Madison.
So you need to do, of the 4 people, they each need to do how many of the 8? 2 segments.
2 segments, yes. So they must do 2 runs, 2 workouts, right? Yeah, so and once again, that allows for still quite a bit of maneuvering around who does what and when. Frankly, I'm super excited to see who shows up now, because listen, at the end of the day, I want to see like super fast times to get done. I want to see this like blow up or whatever. But the main thing too, what I want to kind of like give out to the audience today is like, this is if this is a great first touch for somebody who maybe just like, whoa, too much running in a normal Hyrox, too much weight in a normal Hyrox, whatever. Like this is a great first touch for them. And I think that for all the comments I saw about, it's, when does Hyrox stop becoming a Hyrox and becoming something else? Like, I think this also does to appease those individuals who are like, oh, it's, they're not doing the X, Y, and Z workout, or they're not doing the runs enough. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a really cool touch point, and it'll be a great stepping stone towards that next bit, which is signing up for a doubles or signing up as an individual, or when you want to race like Lauren Weeks, signing up as a pro, so.
I also like strategy because some might think, oh, take your strongest person and have them do the push and the pull, but not necessarily, right? Because the push takes so much out of you. Switch that guy or gal out and make somebody else do the pull, right? So I like that there could be a lot of different ways to slice up the pie.
Dude, it's gonna be a slicing and dicing. No, I'm fired up, and as you know, right? So I'm an energy systems guy. I won't get dorky on you. If you want to get dorky, watch my interview with Rebecca Hammond where we got really dorky about energy systems and training. Super good little thing. Actually, she's fun to talk to. But dude, you go out and hammer a run right into a sled or run right into the burpees. Like, that's gnarly, bro. It's going to be brutal. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, check this out. Let me, I'm getting excited. I'm starting to bounce. So check this part out. So this is the other cool thing. So in the rock zone is where the transitions are going to happen. And so what we're looking at now is like our CAD drawings that we do for each and every one of our events, right? So like, where's the in, where's the out, where's the transitions? So in the spirit of like the true team camaraderie and everything, so the athletes will come, so the athlete's going to do the run, they come in, they do their workout as soon as right by where the out arches are, where you would leave and do the next run. Essentially, oh no, Christian's trying to call me, not right now. Sorry about that. But right before you're about to exit the rock zone and go back on the run, that's where the relay, the team, the holding pen of sorts will be at, just like you would have in a triathlon relay or something like this, right? But when you enter into the little relay pen, you have to exit as soon as you, like, say you tag out your friend, they leave, and then basically those team members can then come around, follow you on the course, cheer you on, so they become blended with the spectator area. So I'm really excited about that as well, because I think it's gonna, like, I mean, dude, think about 3 of your friends just like yelling at you while you're doing the skier, or you're yelling at you while you're doing those sandbag lunges.
So what about timing? Is it going to be like a wrist chip that you pass on?
No, we had actually a long talk with our timing chip company about this. It shouldn't be an issue. Everybody will have their own, ankle straps. Victor Casada, ankle straps, and you're going to keep those ankle straps on. And basically, our timing mats will be right there. So the one athlete will cross over right there in the rock zone, and then that will basically cue them out, because you can't have that. Basically, how we have it set up and how we're going to be working it is no 2 athletes will be able to be on the course at the same time. We don't want any cheaters out there. So so the one athlete will leave the holding pen or enter the holding pen. The other athlete will exit the holding pen, and we should be all copacetic. And then, penalties will be if 2 athletes are on the course at the same time, and so on and so forth. Same as we do in the normal Hyrox race, 3-minute penalties every time you mess up.
All right. Let us talk about the next U.S. championship. We just got done with one, which was amazing. I was there. We loved it. We had the crazy tornado, but we're going back to Chicago, I understand, in January of 2022. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. So Navy Pier loves us, by the way. So Chicago, we love you. Navy Pier, we love you. We're coming back January 22nd to the Navy Pier, to the same spot we did that at. And so this is going to be our first true, like, this new format of, regional format, right? So big money on the line. We're going to throw out, over $25,000 in prize money, not only for the pros either. We're going to give some money to the doubles. So if you're a badass doubles team, you sign up for the U.S. championships. And that's the second part of this thing, right? Rather than qualifying for the U.S. championships like we did with Chicago this year, right? We're going to allow anybody to sign up for it. So it's going to be an open style race where you can log on today. We're going to actually, I'm looking at the screen across from my colleague right here. She's going to push the button, let that go live. And then you're going to be able to sign up for the U.S. championships. So if you're feeling it, sign up. Okay. The only qualifications from here on out, barring any like massive next global pandemic is the World Championships, which will be, in Vegas, or, wherever it is. Next year, it'll be in Vegas.
2022, it's going to be in Vegas?
Yes, but let's keep that. I don't want to talk about that too much right now.
Okay, that's fine. So let's go back to in Leipzig. That's
Leipzig.
That's this year's World Championship, right?
Exactly. So yeah, that's precisely why I don't want to talk about 2022, because we're getting far ahead of ourselves here.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up a website. I have the ability to share a screen. So let's share the old screen. By the way, if you have some questions, go ahead and throw them up here on the old chatter box. We will happily talk to you about that. Let's go here to Le Screen. And where did it go? Here it is. We're looking together. Full screen layout. Okay, here's Hyrox. So let's go to events. And let's break it down, buddy.
All right, cool. So if you kind of see here, so we've got Madison, LA laid out. We've got Dallas, Boston. So those are the ones we've kind of rocked and, we're going here. But see that little black square right there? That one's going to be populated with a Chicago event later today. So you'll be able to sign up for those events.
But let's talk about Boston. You've never been to Boston. There's a lot of people from New England, New York, tri-state area. This is a big deal.
That's exactly right, dude. I mean, you remember from I don't know about obviously Spartan has a huge thing there. Tough Mudder, I remember we had a huge community from up there, just like we had in the Midwest. And so, yeah, I'm super fired up for Boston. So I think that this is going to be a super cool venue. I'm, obviously, who doesn't love Boston? I'm also pretty excited for to see maybe a new group of individuals that we haven't seen yet, right? So we did the New York event before my time on Hyrox, and we had it was a massive event there. So we're trying to really start building back on this northeastern market. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's going to be huge. I think a lot of people from that area, a ton of athletes. So I think that's going to be a good one. Middle of December. So then let me go back to the old screen here, and let's go to look at me doing two things at once. Going over here, right? And if we go switch the region to Europe, right?
Yeah. So that's Europe. So they have. And you have to forgive me, I'm not going to know as much on their schedule because they're still obviously once again, Americans, we're pretty blessed in the fact that our country's been open for a minute. They're putting some things out there right now, but I do know that I wouldn't feel too comfortable saying, yeah, this is the one that they're doing. I know that they've started selling tickets to all these events. But I don't know. It's a lot of that stuff is kind of contingent upon that their country is opening up.
But that's the first event, and it's the World Championship, or it's not the World Championship?
It is, yeah. No, so that is the World Championship event. So if you got your email after Chicago, then please sign up. And if you do still want to go to Leipzig and you feel because we give you that 48-hour window, if you want to come, if your schedule lines up, please let me know. Just email us info@hyrox.com, and we'll get you guys sign up for Leipzig. And I literally was just on the phone with Christian before we jumped on here to kind of make sure we're confirming on Leipzig, and it's all go.
So all those other European dates will be for the next World Championship.
Exactly. Yeah, that's precisely it. Right. So that'd be great. Yeah. Good point. So so the Leipzig will basically close out all this, unfortunate times that we did have with COVID and kind of putting off things. And I hear you guys, dude. I hear you guys. I know how frustrating it is to have canceled or postponed events. I feel you. Believe me, for all the bad things that came my way over the past week, please know that I feel for you. But to bring, to Matt's point, right, to bring everybody back into alignment for 2022 World Championship, it was the right call. And so we're starting in Leipzig, moving forward.
All right, cool. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, man, that's all good. I would once again, I fired up. If you have any interest at all in the team relay, sign up for it. I can't wait to see what the times are. I'm trying to get at least 50, 60 teams out there because we want to basically just establish what does this even look like? Are we going to go under 55 minutes for a Hyrox? How fast do athletes go? And then also too, the last thing I could probably say, we haven't inked it in yet, but like we're going to be doing a massive team relay, just solely team relay event in New York City come February. So, but more details to come on that. I don't want to speak out of term until we actually have a venue signed. But we're working on something quite big, quite splashy, and big paydays for those teams. So if you like the moolah, if you like the money, Hyrox is where you're going to go, where we treat athletes like athletes.
That's a perfect place to end, buddy. Thank you so much, dude.
Done. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Matt, keep running, buddy. How'd your race go, by the way, the other weekend?
We'll talk about that offline. A lot of talk. It went well.